Hello and welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner for another one of our live watch-alongs. Today we're bringing you Burnley versus Arsenal live from Turf Moor. Big hello to everybody in the live chat. Hope you're all well. How are you guys feeling about this one? Let me know. I can see some of you guys have been discussing the game already and what might occur. We're going to kick off by running through the team news, and then I will come over to the live chat for some of your views and thoughts. Right, let's kick off with the Arsenal team. Most importantly, it's Bernd Leno in goal. It's a back four of Callum Chambers, to many people's surprise, David Luiz, Pablo Mari and Kieran Tierney. In midfield, it's that dynamic duo of Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Willian plays from the left, Saka from the right with Odegaard in the hole, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang returns to the starting lineup and returns as a centre forward today. So that is how Arsenal line up. On the substitutes bench, it's Hector Bellerin, Gabriel, Ceballos, Lacazette, Holding, Pepe, El Neni, Matty Ryan and Gabriel Martinelli. Interestingly, no Cedric Suarez. He's not in the starting lineup today, like many people would have thought he might have been, and he's not even in the squad. We can only assume that Cedric has picked up a slight knock somewhere along the line, and as such, he is unavailable today. Callum Chambers hasn't played football for ages, so it is a surprise obviously to see him in the starting lineup. But you know, Callum Chambers has obviously been training for a little while now, and Mikel Arteta clearly feels that he is fit enough, he is sharp enough, and he is ready to give something to the team today. So we're going to have to see how that pans out. But you know, as many people have pointed out sort of on social media in the lead up to this game, I guess the good thing is that Callum Chambers aerially probably gives you a little bit more than any of those other options. And of course, Callum Chambers playing at right back means that we may be a little bit better equipped to deal with Burnley's set piece threat, which we know is their bread and butter. You know, we know it's what Burnley do really, really well under Sean Dyche. Right, let's have a quick run through the Burnley team as well. And they line up as follows. Nick Pope is in goal. He's been in great form this season. Back four of Matt Lowton, Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. Goodmanson, Westwood, Brownhill and McNeil are the midfield, with a front two of Matej Vidra and Chris Wood. So their substitutes bench is Robbie Brady, Bailey Peacock, Farrell Dale, Stevens, Jay Rodriguez, Eric Peters, Phil Bardsley, Kevin Long, Jimmy Dunn and Josh Benson. One thing you know you're going to get from Burnley, you know you're going to get commitment, you know you're going to get hard work. And it's up to Arsenal today to make sure that they match Burnley in all of those departments. Because if they do, obviously Arsenal's superior technical ability and quality should shine through. Let me know your predictions in the chat. And I'll come over to some of your comments in a minute. The Overlord of Procrastination says Cedric's got food poisoning. I haven't seen that yet, but granted, I haven't been on social media since I came in here to set up the stream, so I might have missed that. But fingers crossed, whatever it is, he's back and he's ready and he's available for the game against Olympiacos on Thursday, which is a massive, massive game. And it's difficult at the moment for Mikel. You know, it must be really difficult for him to find the right balance, because here Arsenal are in a position in the Premier League that looks as though, you know, it's going to be difficult to recover. But equally, the current league position is just simply not acceptable. And there's no way that Arsenal can continue in this vein, can continue in this fashion, and that to be acceptable at the end of the season. There's just no way it will be acceptable. And, you know, in many ways, this season will be judged on, obviously, where we end up in the Europa League, how far we can go on that. And if we can do something there that kind of puts a bit of a mask over what's been a bad season generally, but obviously the league position as well is something that Mikel Arteta is going to be judged upon, like it or not. Big hello to everybody in the live chat. I hope you're all well. Let me say a few hellos. Let's say hello to the Modern Gooner, to Nishith, to Graham, to Steve, to Junior Gunner, to Graham Usher, to Bad Boy, to Steve, to Mark, Matt G, Aaron Ward, Steve Stone, Mr. George, Alex, Gary the Snail, love that. Captain Caramello says, hello Harry, disappointed not to see Pepe get a start over William, but happy to see Chambers start. How do you think Chambers will go? 2-0 to the Arsenal tonight. Thanks for your hard work and the content. Thank you. I'm disappointed not to see Pepe in the side as well, because he has played pretty well lately and probably is deserving of a place in the team. I think we can all probably agree on that. But, we know that rotation is going to be a factor. Mikel Arteta alluded to it in his pre-match interview, where he said that I think we got 4 games in 9 days. And so everybody's going to play a part, and you never know. He might start in the game against Olympiacos, which is obviously a huge match in the context of our season. So there's loads to play for, loads of games coming up. They're coming thick and fast. And I think that Mikel Arteta has to rotate at the minute. We don't know how well certain players recovered from the game last week. And it's why I try not to, get onto managers before the game, because you don't know what the situation is behind the scenes. You don't know how somebody's perhaps recovered from the game prior and how they're doing. Big hello to Wes Bird, who's back in the live chat today. Hope you're well. Love to the family. It says smash the like button, everyone, and yes, please do so indeed. It's really important. It really helps the channel, and I'd love for you to hit that button sooner rather than later. It really does help, and the more people hit it now, the more this stream gets recommended, the more the stream gets pushed out, and the more people will join us during the game. Wes Bird also says, I have to be honest, I prefer Chambers as a centre-back rather than at right-back. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's probably his more natural position. But as I've said, with Cedric out unavailable, you look at Hector Bellerin, who, contrary to what many people think is Mikel Arteta's first choice right-back, and you look at the fact that we've got that big game against Olympiacos on Thursday, and I think he's being rested for that reason. You never know. Bellerin might have picked up a slight knock as well. Maybe the plan was to bring him back into the side, having been rested at Leicester, but something's occurred in training. This is the thing, right? We don't really know. So we shouldn't really jump on the boss's back too much. As for Emile Smith-Rowe, though, a little bit further forward in the team, he is still suffering from some discomfort. Fit enough to be on a bench, but not fit enough to start, and that's understandable. Given his fitness record, given the fact that we want to kind of protect him. Apologies, he's not on the bench. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. I knew that as well. But, the fact that he's been left out is because we don't want to take any risks with Emile Smith-Rowe. We just can't afford to. We really can't. He's someone who's shown that he will break down time and time again, and he's become such an important part of this team. We just simply cannot afford for that to happen. Big hello to Josh Hunter. He says, big up Harry, 2-0 win. Hope you're right. I went for a 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'll take any 3 points, however they come. I'm not bothered. True Gooner says, this season for me has been a huge success. We've shipped out so many players that were leeching funds from the team, and we've built a brilliant foundation to build on. We've done the ugly bit. Love that viewpoint. Edward says, only Fabregas has reached 50 Premier League appearances at a younger age than Bukayo Saka. It's a very interesting stat. Josh points out that Chambers is probably in for the long balls, and I agree. I said that a little bit earlier on, that I think that he will give us obviously a little bit more protection in those areas. And Burnley, as we know, they're long ball specialists, aren't they? Very physical side, not the most technically gifted. That's not to say they can't play at all, but we know exactly what it is we're going to get from Burnley, and so we've got to deal with it. Obviously, Burnley played in midweek. Arsenal haven't. So hopefully you'll see a fresh Arsenal side and an Arsenal side who have had time to prepare and make good ahead of this one. Jay Dubia says, come on, Harry, where is he? The good luck Xhaka bobblehead. Here he is. Good luck. The good luck Xhaka is here with me, alongside me, watching the game. So fingers crossed we get a good performance out of Granit Xhaka as well. That would be nice, wouldn't it? What else have we got in terms of your comments? Mr. George says Emile Smith-Rowe needs to rest. Completely agree. Topher says, come on, Chambers. I'm actually excited to see him go again. He was playing decently when him and Martinelli linked up. Sam says he fancies a goal or two for Aubameyang today. T-Talk says the bench is strong. Can't remember saying that much this season. Yeah, and that's been one of the encouraging things that we've seen over the last few weeks, hasn't it? Is that this Arsenal squad is starting to look like a bit of a squad now. It's starting to look like a group in which you can rotate, in which you can make changes and still not damage the level of overall quality too much. So yeah, there's positives, and there is a squad building here at Arsenal, right? You know, whether people want to give Mikel the credit for it or not, we are heading in the right direction, in my opinion. But it is a bit of a slow process. It is a slow burner. It is going to take time. Arsenal having to come out of a makeshift dressing room, which has been the case at a lot of grounds this season because of the COVID restrictions. You're seeing that happen. And Arsenal, you can see there just by the side of the pitch, Burnley in the tunnel. Let's get those crowd effects on as we prepare for kickoff down at Turf Moor. Burnley versus Arsenal in the Premier League. If you haven't got your prediction in already, make sure you do so. Let me know how you see this one going. Massive, massive game for both sides for different reasons. Burnley looking to... I think Burnley will be all right, but they're still worryingly close to the drop zone. And I'm sure Sean Dyche will be looking to get his team clear of that. Push them on up the table a little bit. And secure their status as a Premier League club for another season. Here come the two teams out of the tunnels. Aaron Ward says, could this be the day for Willian to get on the score sheet? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wesbird says, would like to see Martinelli given a run out. Yep, there's no reason why he can't be given a run out later on. But I guess there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, lately about the Gabriel Martinelli thing. For me, what you got to remember is that, you know, yes, he's coming back from an injury and all that. But look, Willian's played really well lately. Pepe's played really well lately. Bukayo Saka is undroppable. Aubameyang's back in amongst the goals. So it's not completely outrageous for Gabriel Martinelli not to be getting in the team, if that makes sense. So, you know, I get people's concerns and worries about him. But for me, you know, it's really a non-issue. He's not... You know, he's not really done enough to say he has to play in the team every single week since he returned from that injury. I know opportunities have, of course, been limited, but you get the point I'm trying to make. It's not outrageous that an informed Willian or an informed Pepe or an informed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang are seen as ahead of him in this current side. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if the effects are coming through. Let's run you through the two teams one more time just before we kick off here at Turf Moor. For Arsenal, it's Bernd Leno in goal. Callum Chambers, David Luiz, Pablo Mari and Kieran Tierney are the back four. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey are the midfield, with Willian, Odegaard and Bukayo Saka providing support for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. For Burnley, it's Nick Pope in goal. Back four of Matt Lowton, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. The midfield is Ashley Westwood, Johan Berg Goodmanson, Josh Brownhill and Dwight McNeil, with Matej Vydra and Chris Wood leading the line for Sean Dyche's men. Matej Vydra scored his first Premier League goal since February 2020 on Wednesday night. Make of that what you will. Just feels like he's hit form at the wrong time from an Arsenal perspective. Enjoy the game, True Gooner. And to everyone else as well, of course, watching. Let's hope we all enjoy the game. Let's hope we all get the result and the performance that we're crying out for from these Arsenal boys. Gotta be honest, I predicted an Arsenal win, but I am a little bit nervous about this one. There's no getting away from that. It's frustrating that, you know, we find ourselves in the position that we do in the Premier League, but we can still at least make it respectable, at the very least, and we need to win games like this one. Andre Mariner is the referee today. It's going to be Arsenal to kick off in their changed navy blue away strip. Burnley, of course, in their famous claret and blue. Oh, false start there. Players taking to the knee in support of the Black Lives Matter campaign. And this time Andre Marinuk blows his whistle. We're underway at Turf Moor. It's Burnley versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Arsenal looking to close the gap on the top 6. Burnley, as I mentioned, looking to create distance between themselves and the bottom 3. And whatever you say about Sean Dyche, he's done a wonderful job to keep this Burnley side in the Premier League for as long as he has on very limited resource. Here's Xhaka, heads it back to Pablo Mari. Big hello to Dev Singh, who says, love your content, Harry. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget, if you're new, if you haven't been on the stream for very long, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It is very, very important. Arsenal have a throw-in in the left-back position that Kieran Tierney will take. It's into Partey, back to Tierney. This ball forward is cleared off of Goodmanson. Partey will pick it up and then clears it forward. Aubameyang closing down Ben Mee, who plays a long ball forward. Typical Burnley, that is. Pablo Mari lets it run across his body and then puts it out for a Burnley throw-in. Here are the home side on the right-hand side with Matt Lowton. He'll take the throw-in. It's midway inside Arsenal's half. Maybe slightly further. Goes all the way back, though, to James Tarkowski. Now it's with Ben Mee at centre-back for Burnley, just inside their own half. Here's Charlie Taylor. Back to Mee. Looks for Dwight McNeil. Important player in this Burnley side. One of their better players, I would say. But Arsenal have the ball back with Xhaka inside the centre circle. The Swiss international looks up and plays it left to Kieran Tierney. Takes the ball under control. Thinks about going beyond Westwood. Instead checks back and finds Xhaka. Now it's with Partey and now Pablo Mari. Good ball out towards the left flank. He'd looked for the run of Kieran Tierney, who'd stayed forward there. Pass didn't reach him and Willian having to track back now. Good covering work there from Pablo Mari, stepping out of the back line. David Luiz and Pablo Mari have formed a decent bond over the last couple of games. Here's Saka, just penalised there for raising his foot. He lifted the ball over the top of the player's head. I've just got some of you saying in the chat that the game clock stayed at 0. On my screen, it's showing as it's running, which is weird. I'll have a look. I'll try and sort it out in a second. As soon as the ball goes out, I'll have a look at it. But it's counting down on my screen, but not on you guys' for some reason. Here's Tierney. Looks to go beyond his man. Looks to put a cross in. He's won Arsenal a corner. Get that sorted for you now. Not sure what has gone on there. Arsenal with a corner that Martin Odegaard is going to take. Opportunity for Arsenal to cause Burnley some problems here early on. In comes the delivery from Odegaard. It's a low one. Chambers was trying to get there at the near post. There it is. Let me just get that time spot on for you. I'll just sync it up so that it's all in order. There we go. That should be working now. There you go. All good. Apologies about that. I'm not sure why that was happening. It was fine at my end and not at yours. Weird. There you go. Game clock should be all up to date now. Apologies. Not sure what happened there. As I always say to you guys, for someone who does YouTube every day, I'm not very bloody good at it. Ben Mee plays a long ball forward for Burnley. Kieran Tierney will just guide it back into the arms of Bernd Leno. Just give me a thumbs up if it's all good for you now. Should be, looks all okay at my end. Leno rolls it out short to Thomas Partey. Into Xhaka. Partey gets it back. Lovely 1-2 between the pair. Plays a nice ball in between the lines for Willian. He's running at Burnley's back four. He's got Aubameyang to his left. Here is Aubameyang inside Burnley's box. Tries to make room for the shot. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang squeezes it in the near post. And Arsenal take the lead against Burnley inside 5 minutes. That's what you want in this type of game. A nice early goal. Brilliant work from Arsenal on the break. Lovely ball from Partey in between the lines to pick out Willian. He drove forward and it's another Willian assist. Although Aubameyang did all the work there. But that's the Aubameyang we want to see. Pulling out to that left-hand side, making things happen. Just seeing the goal once more. Lovely ball from Partey. Willian turns and drives at the Burnley defence. Plays the ball to Aubameyang just at the right time. He steps inside his man. Gets the shot away. And Pope probably should do better at the near post there. But Aubameyang, he's done that a couple of times in recent weeks. He's threatened to go across the goal like he traditionally does and then just drags it back towards the near post. Nick Pope has to do better. The more I see it, Nick Pope probably should keep that out. But who cares? Arsenal are in front at Burnley and that is the ideal start for the Gunners who lead inside 6 minutes. Fantastic stuff. Come on. Great way to start the game for Arsenal. The early goal is so important because we know that Burnley are the kind of side who like to sit, play with a low block, make things difficult, frustrate you, but now they have to come out and that plays into Arsenal's hands, you feel. Here's Lowton with the throw-in. Talked about it before the game about Aubameyang rediscovering his goal-scoring form. There it was. Gareth Southgate in the stands as well. The England boss watching on. He'd have been here in particular to probably watch Nick Pope, who will be disappointed with that when he sees it back. Probably knew it straight away, to be fair to the Burnley keeper. But don't take anything away from Arsenal. Don't take anything away from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, from Willian in the build-up, and from the clever pass in between the lines from Thomas Partey. That's how you progress the ball. That's how you counter-attack. And this Arsenal side are playing with a great deal of confidence at the moment. Here come Burnley on the attack though. In and around Arsenal's penalty area. It comes out to the right-hand side for Goodmanson. Just lays it off for his teammate. Or put a cross in. Taken on the chest though by Thomas Partey. And he lays it off to Kieran Tierney. Up goes Tarkowski. Wins the header for Burnley. And then Kieran Tierney concedes a throw-in. Dream start for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Dominic Harry says, Harry, Jamie Redknapp's comments on Aubameyang 2 weeks ago are starting to look a little stupid. Jamie Redknapp is pretty good at making himself look stupid. He's better than most, to be fair. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, especially now that Arsenal are in front. Got no reason to not like the stream. Also, if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel, receiving access to our members-only content as well as access to our private Discord server, then we'd love your support. Click the link in the description and you can find all the relevant information there. Here are Burnley in possession. Here's McNeil on the left. Forced back into his own half. Bukayo Saka sticking to him like glue. McNeil keeps it alive for Burnley here though, and Chris Wood does really well. Burnley with a switch of play. It's kept on by Lowton. Big hello to Thomas, to Mr. Tesh, to Steve. Hope you're all well. Callum Chambers wins a header at right back, and it's going to be a Burnley throw-in on the left flank. Taken quickly. Odegaard gets an important foot in, and Arsenal have won it back, but they're deep inside their own half here. Can they play their way forward? David Luiz on the ball now, just to the right of Arsenal's penalty area. Plays a long direct ball into the direction of Aubameyang, but couldn't quite pick him out. Matt says the team's looking sharp. That rest seems to have done us good. Yeah, I mean, this season is more difficult than most, but of course, Arsenal benefiting from having a few days off. Here's Partey. Looks much sharper, doesn't he? That's what we need, a fit and sharp Thomas Partey. Brings the best out of Granit Xhaka as well. And all of a sudden, Arsenal have a decent midfield pairing. Here's Burnley on the ball. Plays it into Thomas Partey. Takes it under control. Turns. Looking for options, Thomas Partey. Not much on. Thinks about going right to David Luiz. Instead, continues forward. Plays it right to Luiz in the end. Nice ball into the feet of Bukayo Saka. Escapes the attentions of his man and plays it to Willian in a more central position. Here's Tierney on the left. It's got Partey in field, but instead uses Xhaka. Xhaka goes back out to the left for Willian. Playing with a swagger now, Willian, a confidence that we hadn't seen for months, if we're honest. Arsenal win the ball back in Burnley's half. Here's Martin Odegaard approaching their penalty area. Thinking about trying to thread the ball through the eye of a needle. Plays it into Aubameyang's feet. Odegaard just dispossessed there by Dwight McNeil, who will lead a counter-attack here for Burnley. But across comes Thomas Partey to prevent Burnley progressing. As Thomas says, smash the like button, it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it really, really does help the channel. Good start for the Gunners. A goal to the good here at Turf Moor. What more do you want? Especially when you come up against a team that you know would have been banking on keeping things tight early on. To get the goal at the time we did essentially throws Sean Dyche's game plan out the window. Bad ball there from Granit Xhaka. He was dispossessed in a dangerous area. Burnley on the edge of Arsenal's box. Here's Dwight McNeil. Looks to get a crossing. Callum Chambers does really well to get a toe on it. And it deflects kindly for Burnley in the Arsenal goal. Just a reminder though that if Arsenal are slack, if Arsenal are caught in possession in dangerous areas, Burnley, for all the criticism they receive, they do have the ability to hurt you. That's why they've survived in the Premier League for as many years as they have. They've never played the swashbuckling, silky, classy football that you've seen from others. But they're robust, they're difficult to beat, they're solid. And most importantly, they've got a good attitude. Here's Tarkowski. Ball out towards the left-hand side, looking for the run of one of his colleagues. He's managed to find the left-back who puts a cross in, but the cross is too deep. And the cross curls out of play for an Arsenal goal kick, which Burnley, you'd imagine, would be in absolutely no rush to take right now. Big hello to Nasanga. Big hello to Akshay. Lewis Cooper says Xhaka and Partey are such a good midfield partnership. I agree with that. I think they're Arsenal's best two by a mile. Graham says more goals, Harry. We'd love that. UKB says you're underrated. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribed if you haven't. It's really, really appreciated. Here comes Saka down the right for Arsenal. He's got Ben Mee for company. Can he skip past him? He's just to the right of Burnley's box. He's inside the box now. Looks to get a cross in and wins a corner off of Ben Mee. Does Bukayo Saka. Good work from him again on the right flank. Glad to see him back in the side. Odegaard is going to be the man to take the corner. Left-footed Norwegian. Over comes Willian as well. Will they take it short? Will they try and change the angle? They have taken it short. Now it's with Willian. Back to Saka. He'll deliver from a more central position. It's met by a Burnley head. Thomas Partey looks to get a toe in and Burnley smash it clear. Saka tries to win the header on the halfway line. Can't do so. But there was Granit Xhaka to come across, help his teammate out and win the ball back for Arsenal. Before looking back and playing it safely to Burnley. Xhaka's got it back again in the right back position, strangely enough. Slays it off to David Luiz and Xhaka will slowly jog his way back into the midfield. It's with Partey now. Arsenal controlling things in that area and that's been key to them controlling this game. Nice ball over the top for Aubameyang. Aubameyang gets a shot away left-footed. He was inside the box there. Felt like he didn't quite believe that he was going to have the space that he ended up having there, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But that direct ball over the top, when you've got Aubameyang's pace and the threat that he carries in behind, it's a good weapon. Here's Odegaard. And Willian back out left to Kieran Tierney. Goes beyond the fullback, puts a cross in, met by the head of Ben Mee at the near post, and Lowton will eventually clear it for Burnley. It's going to go out for an Arsenal throw-in around about the halfway line though, on the left-hand side. Kieran Tierney trying to take it up. Take it in a much more advanced position than I think the ball actually went out in. Burnley not happy about it, but Tierney's going to take it anyway. Could have sworn that went out further up the pitch, but I'm not complaining. Quarter of an hour on the clock here. Burnley 0, Arsenal 1 at Turf Moor. Tierney's throw finds Willian. He goes back to Granit Xhaka. Now it's with Leno into Pablo Mari. Under pressure. Has to use his body there to protect the ball from Ashley Westwood. It's back with Leno. Arsenal just trying to draw Burnley out with that defensive passing. You know, we've seen that quite often since Mikel Arteta's come in. Unai Emery tried to do it as well, to be fair to him. It didn't quite work under Emery for whatever reason. Different players, obviously. For the most part, anyway. Sean Dyche in the comments. You've got a better voice for commentary than me, Harry. Sean Dyche has got the worst voice for commentary. It's like, you know that sound when you're at school and they like scratch the chalk on the chalkboard. You might not be old enough to remember chalkboards at school, but yeah, that screeching sound. Steve Stone says Burnley are so scared you can smell the fear. You almost can. You can see they want to press Arsenal at the back because, of course, Arsenal have the lead and they want to try and win the ball back high up the pitch, but they're just reluctant to do it. They're doing it in 2s and 3s at the moment rather than as a complete unit. And that's why Arsenal are able to fend off the press at the moment. Here's Callum Chambers. He's come forward on the right. Finds Bukayo Saka. Went down under a Burnley challenge. Maybe felt he should have had a free kick, but the game continues. Chris Wood helps the ball on towards Vidra. And Burnley are coming forward with some numbers now. Here's Dwight McNeil on the left-hand side. Down by the corner flag, Dwight McNeil. Tries to get a cross in. It'll come all the way into the box, but David Luiz took it on his chest and then Leno picks it up. Akshay says, Harry, have you put away the Granit Xhaka figurine? No, it's right here, mate. Granit Xhaka figurine's right here. And I think Xhaka's looked okay. Akshay says he's looked a little bit shaky so far. I disagree, mate. I think he's done okay in the early stages. I think everyone has. Here's Partey on the ball in midfield for Arsenal. Oh, bad ball. Not quite on the same wavelength as Martin Odegaard here. And Burnley come forward. But again, Xhaka on the edge of his own box, winning the ball back and plays a nice ball forward for Martin Odegaard. And Arsenal could potentially cause Burnley a problem here. Here's Aubameyang taking up that inside left position, as he does so often. Finds Willian on the outside of him. He's to the left of Burnley's penalty area. Gives it back to Aubameyang. Plays it centrally to Thomas Partey. Chips one over the top, looking for Aubameyang. It's going to fall to Aubameyang. He just lost his footing at the crucial moment. I don't think he expected the ball to come back off Matthew Lowton, who did so well to get in there. You see that wonderful run from Aubameyang from outside to in on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's waiting for the ball to come down, and Matthew Lowton does so well to initially intercept the ball, but he can't keep hold of it. He can't control it. And the ball comes to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from maybe 2 or 3 yards out. Angle was difficult, and I know he didn't really necessarily expect it. But that will go down as a chance. There's no question about that. Another opportunity goes begging for the Arsenal here at Turf Moor. 3 attempts so far from Arsenal compared to Burnley's 0. Here's Saka just inside his own half for the Gunners. Burnley have won it back though. You can see Burnley are not going to give up here. They're not going to give in here. So Arsenal have to be alert at all times. We can't afford to make silly mistakes. And in the Premier League, you simply have to take your chances when they come along. It's been our downfall on so many occasions this season. We've not been able to put teams to bed. We've not been able to put games to bed. Not converted anywhere near enough of our goal-scoring opportunities. Xhaka tries to put the ball through the legs of Goodmanson there, and he's got a little bit fortunate there, Granit Xhaka, to win his team a throw-in, but that was risky. Down by the left corner flag. Kieran Tierney's going to take the resulting throw-in. Burnley trying to squeeze Arsenal forward. Xhaka urging his teammates to push that little bit forward, to progress, to try and get themselves in a position where they can spring a counter-attack on Burnley, as they did so effectively for that first goal. Burnley have a throw-in in line with the edge of Arsenal's penalty area, which Matthew Lowton is going to take. Goes in towards the penalty area. Xhaka does really well to just ease Chris Wood out of the challenge. Now it's with Charlie Taylor on the halfway line for Burnley. Goes back to Ben Mee at centre-back. Here's Ashley Westwood dropping into midfield to try and get on the ball a little bit more. Looks as though he's playing centrally Westwood, although the graphics prior to the game had him playing on the right hand side. I think it's actually Goodmanson who is the one playing from the right, but it is a narrow Burnley midfield, as it always is with Sean Dyche's side. That's why they're often so defensively sound and solid, because they play with two compact units of four. 4-4-2 feels very much like a system of the past nowadays, but it can still be effective. Atletico Madrid, another side who still play with it even in 2021. Here's Aubameyang combining with Bukayo Saka, gets into the box, and Bukayo Saka has to score. It's a glorious opportunity. He's just stabbed the ball wide of Nick Pope's goal. It was Callum Chambers who broke forward down the right-hand side, played a lovely ball in field to Saka. Lovely combination play between he and Aubameyang. And after a couple of ricochets, the ball ended up in a wonderful position for Saka to just steer it into the far corner. He's gone with the outside of his foot. He's just tried to jab it almost into the far corner, and it's gone wide. And it's another really, really good Arsenal opportunity missed. Got to score those. Got to score those. Again, Burnley, in their desperation to defend in the last line, just gifting us an opportunity off the back of some miscontrol and a couple of deflections. But Mikel Arteta will know Arsenal have to score these opportunities. They have to take them when they come along. And as Sam says in the chat, and I completely agree, Saka's got to go with the outside of his foot there. He's gone for the toe poke. He's gone to stab it with maybe the outside of his boot, and he's just got it wrong. Arsenal should at the very least, be 2 goals to the good here at Turf Moor. Fingers crossed we can find that second goal and create some daylight between ourselves and Burnley. Don't forget, if you're based in the United States, or you fancy listening to it online, which you can do so, of course, from the UK, I'll be commentating on the game between Aston Villa and Wolves later on for VSIN. And because of that, the post-match review show, or the review show, whatever you want to call it, will be coming to you guys tomorrow, because as soon as I finish here, I've got to shoot straight down to the studio for that one. So apologies that I won't get the review out to you today, but I promise I'll make it worth your while and more in depth tomorrow. I'll be bringing it to you around about late morning, 11, 12 o'clock. UK time, of course, that is. Burnley have a free kick pretty much on the halfway line. It's a chance for them to launch the ball forward, as they like to do. In it comes. Tarkowski forward. Heads it on, but Leno gathers it. Burnley slightly out of position now if Arsenal can play this right, but it's a bad ball from Leno, who was looking for the run of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Emmy says, loving the commentary. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your kind words. Dev Singh says, you should collab with Hugh Wizzy. I'd love to. Might drop him a line. Here's Xhaka, infield to Partey. Inside the centre circle now, the Ghanaian. Lovely reverse ball back to Granit Xhaka. Puts his foot on it. He's looking for options. Goes back to Pablo Mari at centre-back in the end. He plays it square to David Luiz. Arsenal squeezed up to the halfway line now. Now it's with Partey. Now Xhaka. The pair really dominating that midfield area in these early stages. Given away there by Willian. But Arsenal have themselves a throw-in that Kieran Tierney is going to take. "25 minutes on the clock here at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Arsenal 1. Big hello to the modern Gooner who says, "Hey Harry, big up. Starting my own channel where I'm trying to speak Chinese. Good luck. Hope it goes well, mate. All the best." If you need any help, just drop me a message, man. Always happy to help. Pablo Mari makes a sliding challenge. The referee plays advantage and Burnley come forward here with Chris Wood. Now it's with Westwood. Plays it right for Lowton, who's come forward. Looks up, delivers early into the box. Met by the head of Granit Xhaka, who was back defending. It's struck towards goal by Westwood, but nowhere near troubling Burnley. No, it goes high and it goes wide. Thomas says Xhaka is too slow. Thomas, you've really got it in for Granit Xhaka, mate. He's done nothing wrong in this game. He's been as good as anybody else on the pitch. When he's playing badly, I'll be the first to say it. But he's not done anything wrong today. Him and Thomas Partey have completely dominated that midfield area so far. He's been back in key moments, defending. He's made vital interceptions. I just don't understand the Xhaka agenda. It's too much. If he's playing badly, fine, but he really isn't today. Hasn't played badly for a long time, Granit Xhaka. I appreciate that in the long run, some of you will be looking at Granit Xhaka as someone that we can upgrade on. And I agree, there are better midfield players out there than Granit Xhaka, of course they are, but he's not done a thing wrong so far today. I don't understand the desire to always get on his back. We know he's slow. It's not a new thing. Here is Ben Mee, centre-back for Burnley. Plays it square to James Tarkowski. Just shifts it out of his foot and goes for a long direct ball into the direction of Vidra. Here's Wood on the edge of the box. Turned and got a weak shot off in the end. As Lewis Cooper says, Xhaka looks like he wants to be at Arsenal now. Yeah, look at him. Just watch Granit Xhaka. I urge you to watch Granit Xhaka off of the ball for about a couple of minutes and just watch him, how he tries to orchestrate things, how he's always aware, alert of what's going on around him, trying to get other people into the right positions. Look at the disappointment when he gives the ball away. Can't say he's not trying. Backstabber says stop defending average players. It's not about defending any individual. It's about being fair when you're watching the game of football. And you're not being fair if you're criticising Granit Xhaka off the back of his performance so far. Big hello to Mr. Chelev. He's in the comments. Happy 21st birthday to Andrea. Here come Arsenal on the attack. Odegaard just about keeps this in on the byline. Plays it to the edge of the box. Thomas Partey with an effort. Should have done better there. Opened up his foot there, Thomas Partey. Just tried to guide it into the top corner. It's a good pick out from Martin Odegaard on the right-hand side. Made a good overlapping run on Bukayo Saka. Kept it in, and having done that, it was a lovely pick out. And you can see what Partey was trying to do. Just trying to get on top of the ball and just guide it into that top corner. Just gets underneath it a little bit too much. And as a result, the ball goes high and wide. Xander says, don't rue these misses, Arsenal. Agree. Here is Xhaka on the ball for Arsenal. Nice ball into the feet of Willian. Plays it left for Kieran Tierney. Aubameyang and Saka making moves into the penalty area. Tierney will lay it off to Xhaka. Finds Willian. Dispossessed. Now it's with Burnley. and Goodmanson in particular. Here's Charlie Taylor, the left back, plays it down the line to Dwight McNeil. Loose ball infield. I think he was looking for Brownhill there, but the ball was given away and Arsenal have it back. Here's Willian. Infield to Odegaard. Lays it off to Xhaka, who was 6 or 7 yards deeper. Now it's with Callum Chambers, who's come forward from right back. Not quite a Cedric Suarez or a Hector Bellerin in the final third, Callum Chambers. But you can't fault him for effort as he tries to get beyond Charlie Taylor. Burnley looking to break and take advantage of the fact that Chambers is so high up the field. But between David Luiz and Thomas Partey, they regain control of the ball for the Gunners. Sean Dyche barking out instructions to his Burnley side from the touchline. Mikel Arteta watches on. He'll be the more pleased, certainly, of the two managers, but his delight will be maybe overshadowed by a slight hint of disappointment off the back of the fact that Arsenal haven't managed to add a second, despite having at least 2 really good opportunities now. Prince says, what have you made of Chambers so far, Harry? He's looked pretty solid so far. I think it's easier to play as a fullback against a team like Burnley, who play with right and left midfielders as opposed to specialist wingers, because those right and left midfielders have a greater defensive responsibility, and that means that at times you get the license to do exactly what Chambers is doing now, and that is coming forward and trying to combine with those in the final third. Here's Charlie Taylor. Ball forward towards Chris Wood. Does well to take it on his chest. Does really well to link things up for Burnley, does Chris Wood. Xhaka goes down under a Burnley challenge. Wins Arsenal a free kick inside his own half. Partey's going to take the free kick and he just plays it 5-6 yards back to Pablo Mari, and now Partey's got it back in an identical position to the one he took the free kick from. Backstabber says there's better CDMs out there than Xhaka. Nobody's saying there isn't. It's just I don't understand the need to pick out his faults every time he plays a game of football, even when he's performing well and not done a thing wrong. You know, it's not news that Granit Xhaka is slow at times. It's not news that there are better players in the world than Granit Xhaka. But just support the guy, support the team, because he's playing well at the moment. And Arsenal are looking like a pretty solid outfit. Burnley on the ball now inside their own half. Here's Ashley Westwood, just lays it off to Ben Mee. Direct ball towards Chris Wood. Does really well to take it on the chest. He's so good at holding the ball up, Chris Wood. Knits things together for this Burnley side. They really miss him when he's not playing. Lowton whips a ball in from Burnley. Xhaka was again at the near post to win the header. Arsenal on the ball now with Willian. Pablo Mari plays a short pass to Xhaka at left back. Arsenal have given the ball away. Got plenty of bodies back to defend this, but Burnley want to have the ball in these kind of areas, in and around the penalty box, where they can put deliveries into the mixer, as they try and do so now with Goodmanson. Kieran Tierney this time gets a foot on it. Burnley come again. Arsenal sinking a little bit too deep for my liking at the moment, but fingers crossed that will eventually lead to a counter-attack from which we can inflict, hopefully, further damage. Burnley's Matt Lowton was getting forward there, tried to prevent the goal kick by conceding a throw-in. Plenty of you watching at the moment. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It is very, very much appreciated. And if you are interested in supporting the channel and fancy becoming a member, then feel free to do so by clicking the link in the description. It is very, very much appreciated. Arsenal have another throw-in down by the left corner flag. after Vidra blocked Kieran Tierney's clearance. Don't like having throw-ins in this kind of areas. They're difficult to get out from. Tierney goes with a long throw down the line towards Aubameyang. He didn't win it, Aubameyang. Off the back of a deflection, it's Burnley who have a throw-in. Here is Brownhill. Saka hooks it clear on the edge of his own box. Now Xhaka will pick it up. Looks up, looking for some movement. Not a great deal of it ahead of him, but goes for a long ball over the top in which he tries to pick out Aubameyang. Out came Nick Pope outside of his penalty area. Won the header and conceded a throw-in. But a good spot from Xhaka. Good pick out. And that could have gone horribly wrong for Nick Pope had he not been absolutely spot on there. And we saw Alisson get away with one in midweek after he had a rush of blood to the head. Fortunately for him, goal was ruled to be offside, but seen that happen a few times in the Premier League of late. Goalkeepers trying to play that sweeper keeper role, coming rushing out and making a real meal of it. Here's Dwight McNeil on the left for Burnley. Wesbird says, "Are you nervous, Harry, or are we looking good?" I'm nervous because it's a 1-goal lead, but I'm pleased with the performance, if that makes sense. You can never be comfortable at 1-0. But I've seen enough that suggests Arsenal should go on and win this game. But should and what you actually do are two different things, aren't they? Here's Aubameyang, does really well to take the ball down, driving forward. He's got Saka to his right. If he can pick him out, plays the pass at the right time. But Saka's just allowed it to run across his body, in my opinion, wrongly. And the chance has gone begging. It's another really good opportunity from which Arsenal could have added a second goal. Have to see it again. I'm not sure if Saka's decision to let it run onto his right side was the right one, or if the pass from Aubameyang was just not quite right. We'll have another look at it. But whatever the reason was for it going wrong, Arsenal should be 2 goals to the good here. It's another really good chance. And you know, we keep talking about this ruthlessness that this Arsenal side lacks, and they need to find that. Really good work from Aubameyang. Lovely control, driving straight at the heart of the Burnley defence. I think the pass from Aubameyang was fine. I think Saka's got to start making his run more infield though there, or getting himself across the defender that's running back with him, because if you step inside and, you know, with a view to getting it on your left foot, you know, even if you don't get the shot away, you're almost enticing a foul out of the defender as well. So could have done more with that, Bukayo Saka, for me. It's another opportunity wasted. Arsenal playing around with it. Oh, that's terrible. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. And Granit Xhaka has had an absolute mare. He has had an absolute mare. And we're talking about the need to be ruthless at one end. And Granit Xhaka has made a complete and utter fuck up at the other. Tierney played the ball back to Pablo Mari. He played it square to Bernd Leno. I don't know why Bernd Leno's even passed this. Well, no, I suppose he's given it to Xhaka with plenty of time. And Xhaka has gone to play the ball across his penalty area without looking. And he's kicked the ball against Chris Wood. He's kicked the ball against Chris Wood, and it's gone in off of Chris Wood's knee, thigh, whatever you want to call it. And it's gone into the back of the net. It's a terrible, terrible moment for Arsenal. It's a terrible moment for Granit Xhaka. There's no excuse for that. No excuse for that whatsoever. And having had so many opportunities, Arsenal have really, really let themselves down and now find themselves pegged back by a Burnley side who have offered absolutely nothing up until now. Pablo Mari trying to hold off Chris Wood, and does so long enough for Bernd Leno to come out and gather the ball, but it's the nature of the goal. I mean, you concede a goal of that nature and you must feel sick to the stomach, particularly when you've had the chances that Arsenal have had. in the early stages of this game. Here's Kieran Tierney. Now it's with Aubameyang. Here's Thomas Partey. Now it's with Saka on the right flank. Can he beat Dwight McNeil? Instead he plays it back to Martin Odegaard. Lenny says, as soon as we missed the 2 chances, I feared the worst. Oh man. Nimsy Lot says, trying to force us fans to support Xhaka. No one's forcing you to do anything, mate. You can support whoever the hell you want. But as an Arsenal supporter, you should be supporting the players wearing an Arsenal shirt. And for all the criticism you guys were giving him in the early stages of this game, not one of you predicted that would happen. So don't make out that you're a genius or some kind of guru. That is a complete and utter fuck up. That is completely, you know, you can't account for that sort of thing. Even his biggest critic wouldn't have accounted for that. It's Burnley 1, Arsenal 1, and it really should be 2 or 3-0 to the Arsenal. Based on the way this game's gone in terms of the balance of play, the fact that Arsenal have had the better chances and a number of really good chances as well. Here come Burnley on the attack again. Here's Vidra inside the penalty area. David Luiz trying to control him. Dwight McNeil with a low ball across the box. Burnley does well to get down and save it. Now Arsenal are looking to break forward. Here's Willian. Nice ball into the feet of Martin Odegaard. He's got a couple of Burnley players around him. Does well to keep possession. Willian looked to just sweep one out to Kieran Tierney on the left, but the pass was blocked and it's ended up back with Burnley. Here is Ben Mee at centre-back. David Luiz does well to win the header. Thomas Partey does well to hold off Brownhill, and Arsenal have the ball back. Here's Callum Chambers at right full-back for the Gunners. Plays the ball square to Pablo Mari. Here's Granit Xhaka, the man whose mistake, shocking mistake, has levelled things up, and you can see it's impacted his confidence. You can see it because Granit Xhaka would be demanding the ball at all times normally in these kind of positions, and he's not doing so right now. Here's Luiz. Now it's with Pablo Mari. Here is the Spaniard once more. Plays it into Willian. Lays it off to Xhaka. Plays the ball forward to Bukayo Saka. Now it's with Thomas Partey. Xhaka has it inside the centre circle for the Gunners. Back to Partey. Nice ball to the right where Callum Chambers has come forward. He plays it back in field to Martin Odegaard, and Burnley just retreating and sinking deeper and deeper, and now they've got their goal back. You can expect to see plenty more of that. Here's Tierney. Looks to thread a ball through the eye of the needle for the run made by Willian, but it was cut out. Lowton goes back to his teammate who plays a long ball forward. Vidra will help it on. Out steps David Luiz from his position to play a wonderful ball out to Willian on the left flank. Willian's inside Burnley's penalty area here. Willian with a low cross cut out at the near post by Tarkowski, and Arsenal have a corner. Just having a look at it again. Willian looking to go beyond Tarkowski. You can see he had Odegaard, he had Saka, and one more in the penalty area there. It's going to be the Brazilian to take the corner. All the big boys are forward. In comes the delivery, met by a Burnley head at the near post. Tierney just lays it off to Martin Odegaard. It's to the left of Burnley's penalty area. He plays it back to Tierney. Thought about crossing it from a slightly deeper position. Willian will do it instead. In it comes. It's come off of Tarkowski's thigh. Tierney looking to keep it alive. And I think Burnley have conceded a throw on there, which Tierney will take. It's short to Odegaard. Tierney's got it back. Now it's with Willian. Here is a Chambers, lovely ball out to the left. Tierney will try and get it under control. The flag went up against him there, Kieran Tierney. Really frustrating to be back on level terms. There's been just a minute added on at the end of this first period. We've already had about 35 seconds of it. So the half-time whistle here is imminent. Seeing a replay of that moment, Dwight McNeil put the ball low across the penalty area and Bernleno pounced on it. It's the Burnley goalkeeper, Nick Pope, who takes the goal kick, drives it long. Thomas Partey comes off second best there, and it's half-time at Turf Moor. It's Arsenal 1, Burnley 1, but in truth, the Gunners should be clear by now. They'll be frustrated because having performed really well up until the point Granit Xhaka had a complete moment of madness. I mean, it's the kind of mistake that you just can't legislate for. It's the kind of mistake that, as a manager, will make you feel sick to the stomach. You know, 5-6 minutes before half-time, you go and do a thing like that. You can see why some of the other players, in particular Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, are looking frustrated at the moment. You know, this is not to take any of the heat off Granit Xhaka, because I know a lot of you are going to suggest that that's what I'm doing, and it's not. It really isn't. But when you play from the back the way we do, and you insist on doing it like we do every single time, there is a risk to that. And the risk to that is that somebody plays a blind pass at some point. And, you know, whether it's Xhaka, whether it's whoever it is. And this is not me taking it away from Xhaka, right? So don't think of this as me, you know, making a case to defend the guy. I'm just saying that when you play this way, and I've said it for years, I said it when Unai Emery was in charge as well. You try and play this way out from the back, there is an associated risk. You know, and that associated risk is that at times this kind of thing will happen. And yeah, it's really, really frustrating. I'm going to take a short pause, just a really, really short one. So don't go anywhere. I'm literally just going to grab a drink of water, and I'll be back in the man cave for the second half. So don't go anywhere. We'll be discussing what we've seen in that first period. I'll be taking your questions, your thoughts from the live chat. I will be literally 1 to 2 minutes and no longer. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay on the stream. Cheers. Welcome back to the live watch along of Burnley versus Arsenal. It's 1-1 at Turf Moor. Really frustrating to be in the position that we're in. You know, having controlled the game, having created all the chances, to now be in a position where we are, you know, back on level terms because of an individual error is obviously really, really disappointing. Said it just before half time. You know, you try and play from the back, you will make mistakes. You know, nobody can find me a footballer in the history of the game that's never given the ball away. Everybody does it. Not everybody maybe does it as often as Granit Xhaka does in those kind of areas. And I'm not excusing him for a minute, right? It's a complete and utter howler. I just worry that we're kind of in focusing on what's just happened there. We're probably missing the bigger picture, which is that we've created chances and we've not taken those chances. And we can't keep doing that. We can't keep dominating games of football, creating opportunities, having all of the ball, not taking those opportunities, and then ultimately, as Hector Bellerin says, beating ourselves by making those kind of errors. It's an inexcusable error. And you know, there's no getting away from that, and I'm not trying to get away from that. I just, you know, I mean, there's so much positive to take from that first half. I mean, we're looking at the first goal now. Partey does really well, progressing the ball, driving forward, carrying it forward, finds Willian, you know, plays a nice ball out to the left for Aubameyang, who takes up that position that he does so effectively, steps inside a couple of players and squeezes one in the near post, and you're thinking, happy days. You know, you're delighted. And then we have more chances. And another chance goes begging. And then another one after that. And you're sitting there going, oh, like we've got to take these opportunities. We can't afford to keep letting them pass us by, because we will get punished. That's what happens in the Premier League. You know, that is the level in the Premier League. You know, if you make mistakes and you don't take opportunities, then people will punish you. Let's have a look at what some of you guys are saying in the live chat box. The Overlord of Procrastination says, no team can dominate a game so much and still throw it away like Arsenal. Sam says, Harry, this reminds me of the Wolves game. It's always our own doing that costs us. And people will still blame Arteta if we don't win this, when it's individual mistakes and a lot of missed chances. Alcup says, Xhaka plus Burnley equals fuck-ups. Jay Dubia, I think he's talking about Xhaka, says he does need a rest, 12 games on the trot now. Yeah, he's played a lot of football. He certainly has. Paul Nell says, head up, guys. Plenty of time left. Xhaka and Leno will redeem themselves. Yeah, there's plenty of time to go. And, you know, that's why I'm not going into meltdown about it. You know, it'll be frustrating if we get to 90 minutes and we don't manage to win the game off the back of what's just happened. But the reality is that there's a long way to go still in this one. Timbuk2 says Xhaka deserves to be roasted for that goal, but to be fair, Leno should know better. There are times and places where you simply cannot give Xhaka the ball. I mean, I get that, and at the time I thought, what? Like, I looked at what Xhaka did, and I thought, having received the ball in that position, I cannot believe that Xhaka has gone to play that ball across his box. He's even looked, and he knows the guy's there, and he still tried to play it. It's like, do you ever get it when you're playing FIFA? Like, you know you shouldn't play a pass, or you know you shouldn't slide tackle, but you still press the button. That's what it felt like. And it's kind of like, just clear it out, just put it out for a corner, whatever. But I do agree, you know, Leno as well. You know, why are you playing the ball into a player in that position who's got players around him? That all comes from Arsenal's desire to play out from the back, and that, you know, insistence on playing in a certain way. And unfortunately, that insistence in playing in a certain way is going to land us in hot water from time to time. It doesn't matter if it's Xhaka, it doesn't matter if it's Partey, it doesn't matter if it's El Neni. At times, all of our midfield players will find themselves in positions where they've dropped in between the centre-halves to receive the ball off the back of the manager's instruction, and that hasn't necessarily been the right thing to do. And this time we got punished for it. Look, we've shown in the first half we can create the chances. Fingers crossed we create more opportunities in the second half, and off the back of that we can go on and win this game. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Matt G says we'll get more chances second half, need to be more ruthless. Thomas says, Harry, go check the stats. Granit Xhaka has the most mistakes that lead to PL goals in the period he has played in the Premier League. It's not good enough. I agree it's not good enough, Thomas, but he's been good lately. So those stats, how far back are you referring to? When was the last one before this one? That's the kind of point. Like, he's been on good form lately. He's made a mistake. He's made an error. He's made a fuck up. When Aubameyang blows an opportunity from 2 or 3 yards out, or when Saka does what he did when he got played through on goal, which is completely misread the pass and not get his body right. Nobody's talking about that. And that's what frustrates me, because we're talking about mistakes that lead to goals, but there's a lack of ruthlessness in this side as well. And that for me is just as big of a problem. Rancid says, good first half. Good first half. We just have to score goals. FX Entertainment says, whoever is blaming Leno must be watching a different game. Inti Yanan says, it's Arteta's job to make sure players don't make errors like that. And Easter says, I'm pretty sure game is ours. Second half is going to be with too much pressure. Sam says, I still fancy us if we keep 11 on the pitch. Bajwa says, low block coming up for Burnley now. I don't see us creating more chances. Alcop says, take him off. He'll make another mistake in the second half like Ceballos did against Benfica. A couple of you saying draw written all over this one. What else have we got? FX Entertainment with regards to Xhaka says, he's been good, Harry, but come on, what the fuck was he doing? Dan Miller says, don't make excuses for Xhaka. I've not made an excuse for Granit Xhaka at any point. I've not once said that Granit Xhaka was not at fault there. He absolutely is at fault. He is. Nobody's saying that he's not at fault. But let's see. We might go on and win this game 3-4-1, and then nobody will be talking about it anymore. I'm just saying, we've got other issues in the team as well as that. We're not converting chances. I kept saying it in the commentary, for God's sake. How many times did I say, are we going to live to regret missing those chances? We've got to take these kind of opportunities. It's not me flip-flopping on it now because Granit Xhaka's gone and done what he's done. There's no excuse for it. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible piece of play from Xhaka. A terrible pass across his own box. It's frustrating because you can see he's had time to look as well. Nobody's defending him. It's just that you see it in other teams as well. If you insist, if you drill it into your players so much that you do not want them to play the ball long in a situation like this, whether that stems from the goalkeeper playing it somewhere or the defender not getting rid of it, whoever it comes from, the ultimate issue here is that when you play that way, and it's not just Arsenal, it's other teams that do it as well, you will at times give the ball away in areas that are just inexcusable. And today, that's what happened. Yes, there are positives to playing that way. And under Mikel Arteta, you would say that the positives have outweighed the negatives overall. But, it's an associated risk. I said it during Unai Emery's tenure as well. For those of you that have been following me since then, you know that I used to say it when we used to make mistakes then. I used to say, I don't like them. They're frustrating. But if you as a manager want your team to play that way, you as a manager will also accept that at times you will lose the ball in your defensive third. And more often than not, against decent opposition, when you lose the ball in your own third and you're out of position because you're stretching and trying to make things happen, problems occur. And that's it. Terrible joke from Inti Yanan in the chat. Absolutely horrendous joke. Horrendous joke. My God, they're getting worse and worse. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Adam says, if we were more clinical, the error wouldn't matter as much. I feel as if we drop off in our intensity when we score first. Christoph says, the risk reward from playing out from that depth are simply not worth it. Modern Gooner says, it's been nice to see Partey have shots. New Tide says, negatives have outweighed the positives. We're struggling against a team that can't score. I was talking about playing out from the back, and that specifically. We've created a lot of goals. The first goal came from Arsenal playing out from the back and drawing their opponent in. What else have we got here? Marshall Ayub says, peace guys, just joined. Liverpool fan here. You guys should have killed that game in the first half. Agree. Baker Man says, please don't let us lose this game. And Bajwa says, Harry, do you think we need a mental coach? Nah, I mean, I don't know. I think Mikel Arteta will be as frustrated as anybody with what he's just seen there, because he will know his team had done enough to warrant being in front. He would know that his team had to take those opportunities that came their way. You could see the frustration in each of his individual reactions to each of those individual moments. And he's well aware. He's well aware that in this league, you will live to regret that if you miss chances. He's learnt that very quickly. He's had to, because it's happened to us so many times. Back underway here at Turf Moor. Burnley 1, Arsenal 1 in the Premier League. Let's get back on it. Let's focus on the football now. Player agendas aside. Here come Burnley. Granit Xhaka does well to prevent Goodmanson progressing. No changes from either side at the break. Didn't think there would be any, if I'm honest. Here is Saka. Goes back to Callum Chambers at right back. Plays the ball in field to Thomas Partey. Partey won't want to have received it there, to be honest. He plays the ball down the right flank. Odegaard was chasing it, and now Aubameyang will close down Nick Pope, whose left-footed clearance reaches the halfway line. It's helped on by Charlie Taylor. And then pumped forward again by Burnley. David Luiz wins a header. The ball comes off of Chris Wood. It's going to be an Arsenal throw-in at right back. Just let me know if the effects are coming through all okay. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. I can't hear what you guys hear, so I'm always keen to try and make sure that it's coming through as clearly as possible. Don't want the effects to be too loud, mind you, but here is Callum Chambers with a throw-in down the line, met by the head of Ben Mee, and McNeil will help it on, and you fear this is going to turn into the into this ugly game that Burnley want it to be, which is the ball up in the air plenty. Jack has literally had his shirt ripped by an opponent. It's a massive gaping hole in it, and they tell me that Burnley don't pull shirts. Here's Partey. Plays it back to David Luiz. Arsenal playing dangerously again around the edge of their penalty areas. Chambers looks to find Bukayo Saka. Graham says, if we play like we did in the first half, we can win this 2-1, 3-1. Don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Ball goes up in the air and Callum Chambers is underneath it. Takes it down and turns and plays it back to Bernd Leno. Long ball forward towards Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the halfway line. It's come off a Burnley player, but Willian will pick it up. He's got Kieran Tierney racing down the left-hand side on the outside of him. Tierney looks up, delivers low into the box, cut out at the near post by Tarkowski, and then Westwood clears it as far as the halfway line. Burnley pick up the loose ball, and they're coming forward now with Vidra. Here's Goodmanson on the right-hand side for Burnley. Plays it in field to Dwight McNeil. Ball whipped into the penalty area by Burnley. This time Bernd Leno will gather it with ease, and he releases it quickly to Martin Ødegaard. Lays it off to Xhaka. He plays it to Thomas Partey. It's back to Ødegaard once more. Here's Willian. Luke Howard says it's nice when you don't realise the ref's on the pitch. Yeah, he's not had a major impact on the game, has he, Andre Marin? I think he's dealt with the game quite well so far. He's let it flow as much as possible. Not that it's been a dirty game, though. Here is Chambers. He's still got 45 minutes, Luke, to make a mess of it. So we'll hold fire on the referee praise. Here's Ødegaard. Now Xhaka to the left of the penalty area where Tierney picks it up. He's got Willian just inside of him. Arsenal looking to pick the Burnley lock. Here's Willian again. Finds Saka inside the Burnley penalty area. Twists, turns, tries to engineer a bit of space. Plays it to Willian in the end. Nice play between the two. Saka will keep this alive. Tarkowski's initial header clear, and then it's hooked away by another Burnley player. Partey on the ball into Odegaard. I thought that Partey was going to continue his run. He didn't, and Dwight McNeil comes away with it for Burnley. Plays it to his left back, Charlie Taylor. Long ball forward towards Chris Wood. Just to lay it off for Vidra, but Callum Chambers did well to follow the ball. Wins it back for Arsenal. Here's Xhaka in midfield. Goes back to David Luiz in the heart of the defence. Here's Xhaka once more. Now Pablo Mari. Now Partey. Here's Xhaka just inside Burnley's half. Finds Willian. He's closed down by Tarkowski, and you feel like it's going to be much more difficult to break Burnley down now, don't you? Those missed chances early on. Here's Martin Odegaard on the edge of Burnley's box. Finds Bukayo Saka. He's inside the penalty area. Always looking to cut in onto that left foot. Gets the shot away. It's blocked. Comes back to Odegaard, just on the edge of the D. Shoots from distance. Forces a save out of Nick Pope down to his left. Comfortable save in the end for the Burnley goalkeeper. And nice to see Martin Odegaard showing the confidence to get a shot away from the edge of the box. Did well to create the space initially. Nick Pope unable to hold it at the first attempt. Managed to gather it in pretty quickly though after the initial save. Bad Boy says, what minute you on, Harry? I'm on whatever the minute is that is on my clock is where I'm at, mate. It's perfectly synced up. This is the problem, right? When you live stream, sometimes, you know, it's quite difficult to get the sync for you guys completely lined up. Just because by the time it goes through OBS and then comes out on YouTube, there's not a lot I can do about it. Unfortunately, there's no way of me doing it without the latency. I've thought about maybe doing it audio only, and could probably reduce the latency slightly that way, but then you wouldn't be able to get it on YouTube, and it means going over to a completely new platform where we'd have no subscribers, and I don't know if that's worthwhile. But I'm open to any suggestions. Sam says 2 more likes to 100. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. In comes Burnley's corner. Leno under pressure dropped it, but gathered it at the second attempt. He looked like he might have been fouled there, but no harm done in the end, because Arsenal are looking to counter-attack now. Here's Xhaka trying to stretch for a poor ball from Kieran Tierney. Thank you to Masters Weekend, to Wes Bird, to all of you for your kind words and support. By the way, I'm not watching the game on a delay. I'm watching the game live like you all are. But if there is a slight delay, it's because of the stream. It's not because I'm watching it behind you guys. If that's what you meant. I am watching it on Virgin Media like everybody else. So yeah. Here's Kieran Tierney at left back. I think we may have hit the 100, which is incredible. Thank you all. And a big hello to Steve, who just says, keep doing what you're doing. I'm watching from Australia. Big love to everybody watching us from down under. Here is Saka, now Odegaard on the edge of Burnley's penalty area. Plays it right to Callum Chambers. He'll deliver a low cross. Taken under control by Saka, who got a shot away, but it was blocked. Good control that from Bukayo Saka, because the ball was fizzed into the box by Callum Chambers from the right. David Luiz plays a long ball forward for Arsenal, but it's picked up by Ben Mee and then helped back to Nick Pope. Here come Burnley now with Chris Wood. Lays it off to Westwood. Looks for Goodmanson now for Burnley. It's back with Westwood. Lays it off to Tarkowski. Now it's with Ben Mee. Finds the left back Charlie Taylor, who's just caught there by Bukayo Saka. It was certainly a foul. Saka's going to go into the book here, and rightly so. It's a late challenge from Bukayo Saka. He can have absolutely no complaints about that whatsoever. Charlie Taylor, clever, just lets it run across his body. Looks to take it on with his left foot, entices Bukayo Saka into the challenge. And Burnley have a free kick, and the Arsenal man goes into the referee's book. A couple of you suggesting that maybe Bukayo Saka looks a little bit fatigued. Of course, didn't play at Leicester last weekend, was rested, rightly so. I just think he's been so important to the side. It's difficult, isn't it, to overlook him as a manager. And can you imagine the criticism and stick that would come Mikel's way if he wasn't playing Bukayo Saka and Arsenal weren't getting results? Hard balance to find as a manager, isn't it? Wesbird says, how's Saka playing? Not great. It's not been his best game. He's got into some good areas, but probably spurned the best opportunity of the game in the first half and just hasn't looked his usual sharp self. Wonder if Mikel's considering making a change. He's got plenty of attacking talent on the bench. Here's Partey driving forward for Arsenal under pressure from Vidra. He's lost out to Vidra. Thomas Partey dispossessed in the heart of Arsenal's midfield. Burnley look to spring an attack off of the back of that. Here's Dwight McNeil. Partey pressing high up the pitch now, trying to win it back for Arsenal. Burnley with a long ball forward, but David Luiz will come across to right back to pick it up. Is it infield to Granit Xhaka? He's not been on the ball anywhere near as much as he was in the early stages. Since he made that mistake, you can see it's impacted his confidence. Here's Partey. Back to Xhaka. Plays it right to Callum Chambers. Puts a good ball into the box. It takes a awkward little bounce in front of Nick Pope, but he manages to gather it into his chest anyway. He's put in a couple of really decent deliveries at the start of this second half, Callum Chambers. Driven deliveries, whipped into the penalty area. Here he is again, plays a long ball forward over the top. Well, Aubameyang will chase it, but Ben Mee will head it down. Burnley with the ball now. Tarkowski into Goodmanson, goes back to Lowton at right back. Probably be considering a change now if I was Mikel Arteta. Nicolas Pepe would probably be my go-to man, if I'm honest. Bit of trickery, bit of creativity, the ability to score a goal as well. I think we need that little bit of guile around the penalty area. Someone who's not going to be afraid to just try and take a couple of players on and create space for himself. Because we're moving the ball from left to right and right to left, but Burnley are back in a really low block and they're making it difficult. And I always think in situations like that you need a player with a bit more of an ability to do that, to run at people, to hurt people, to pull off a bit of individual brilliance. No sign of a change being made from Arsenal just yet. Just keep on glancing to the bench. Pablo Mari smashes the ball up in the air. Burnley have it back and they're slowly making progress towards Arsenal's penalty area here. Here's Dwight McNeil. They're inside the box now, but Kieran Tierney's back in the nick of time. And his clearance goes up to the halfway line where Ben Mee will pick it up. Here's Charlie Taylor now. Into McNeil, under pressure from Odegaard. Saka got a foot in and managed to kick it back off of McNeil. It's going to be an Arsenal throw. Frustrating that we're not winning this one. Still half an hour to go though. It's a long time in football. Make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel and supporting me to bring you more Arsenal content, then just hit the link in the description. It is going to be Arsenal who make the first change, and it looks like, just trying to work out if that's Laka or Pepe. I can only see from a distance. Whoever it is crouched over, so I can't see a face. But Arsenal are going to make a change as Mikel Arteta looks to go on and take all 3 points from this game. David Luiz and Chris Wood involved in a bit of pushing and shoving. It's going to be Lacazette who's going to come on first for Arsenal. Just putting the shin pads on. In the meantime, Burnley have a free kick and they launch it into the penalty area. Out comes Bernd Leno, and he had to get there, the German. And he's trying to release Willian, who knocks the ball past Lowton. Showed really good pace there, Willian. Pace I didn't really think he had. But Lowton just had the strength to ease him off of the ball. Mikel Arteta there on the far side wanted a free kick for Arsenal. He wasn't going to get one though. Here's Charlie Taylor. Alexander Lacazette is stripped and ready to enter proceedings. Who will he replace? That's the question. Will Aubameyang play on one of the flanks? Will it be Saka to make way? We shall soon find out as Xhaka pings a ball out to the right flank. Saka's going to try and get onto it. Across come Charlie Taylor. I think he's won his team a free kick, Charlie Taylor there. Yeah, Saka just comes into him a little bit late. Arsenal making their substitution. It's going to be Martin Odegaard to make way. Arsenal going, he looks with two up top here. Interesting. It's looked lively at times today, Odegaard, but without really grabbing a foothold of the game. Burnley make a change of their own. Charlie Taylor, the left back, replaced by Eric Peters, former Stoke man, of course. Not sure if he's picked up a knock, Charlie Taylor. To be honest, who cares? Here comes the wave of criticism for Mikel Arteta for the substitution. Let's see how it pans out first. Give him a chance. Everybody criticised Willian coming on in Benfica. Do you remember how that went? Here comes Aubameyang. He's got Willian on the outside of him. He's inside the box. Now it's Willian again. Just inside Burnley's penalty area to the left. Lays it off to Kieran Tierney. Sticks one into the penalty area. Met by a Burnley head. It was Josh Brownhill. Flag's gone up against the Arsenal man at the far post there. That was against Willian. So that ball from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. 64 minutes on the clock. Burnley 1, Arsenal 1. It's a game that Arsenal should be winning. But the reality is they're not. And this has been the case far too often this season. Too many times, Mikel Arteta's side have failed to take the result that their performance probably deserved. It's going to be a Burnley throw-in at right back, which Lowton will take. Throws it down the line into the direction of Chris Wood. It was met by Pablo Mari. Burnley are preparing another change. It's going to be Robbie Brady. Here come the Clarets. Number 23. Eric Peters was taken out by Bukayo Saka. He's got to be careful, Saka. He's walking a disciplinary tightrope here. He's already been booked. And you can't make too many more of those kind of challenges if you're on a yellow card. And the last thing Arsenal need in this last 25 minutes would be to go down to 10 men. Pablo Mari wins the header. Burnley still on the attack here, but Kieran Tierney does well. Westwood puts it back into the mixer for Burnley. Callum Chambers wins the initial header and then wins the second one. Here's Ben Mee at the back for Burnley. Sean Dyche's side still in possession, launching balls forward to Chris Wood at every opportunity. Thomas Partey. His miscontrol led to Callum Chambers having to smash the ball into row Z. He's not been great today either, Thomas Partey, you know. Started the game really well, as did Granit Xhaka in the middle of the park. But the pair of them, they've just been a little bit sloppy in there. I think Partey's been sloppy. It's not saying he's the only one, but it's not been great from him today, I don't think. Brady is on for Burnley. He replaces Goodmanson. Sean Dyche watching on. Nicolas Pepe is also being readied. He's receiving instruction from Mikel Arteta's staff. I think he's probably going to come on that right-hand side in place of Bukayo Saka, especially after he just made that, what seemed a little bit of an unnecessary challenge. He's on a yellow card and Arsenal do not want to go down to 10 men here. Here's Partey on the edge of the box being muscled out of it by Vidra, who's gone down in the box. Burnley won a penalty. Andre Mariner waves play on. Just having another look at it. Nah, there's not enough there for that to be a penalty. Xhaka's just lost out to Robbie Brady. Now it's Lowton for Burnley. Plays the ball forward into the direction of Vidra's done really well to win the header and finds Chris Wood. Brady to Peters at left back. Now it's with Ben Mee. Xander says we're being bullied all over. Can't disagree with that. But it's our own fault because this game should have been done and dusted inside 20 minutes. That's the reality of it. Game should have been done and dusted. Arsenal should be 2-3 goals up. Oh, does Bukayo, just watching a replay of that incident, Vidra turns away. Does Bukayo Saka just get something on him? I don't know. I don't think so. Willian's been replaced by Pepe, so Saka stays on. Interesting. Although I do like Pepe from the left more than I do from the right, but I'm still not sure I'd have left Bukayo Saka on. Hopefully he comes up with something that that justifies that decision. Xhaka with another sloppy pass and putting Saka under pressure. Saka's moved position by the looks of it. He's moved to the left. And Pepe's gone on the right. Akshay says, how the hell do we manage to end up on the back foot against Burnley? Bloody Sean Dyche. Let's score a couple, please. Pablo Marie wins the header, and then Kieran Tierney will make sure it's cleared properly for Arsenal. He's into the direction of Lacazette. Mee's header falls to Nicolas Pepe for his first involvement. Plays it forward to Laka, who was caught by Eric Peters. The pass was slightly behind Laka, and he just stretched back to get a foot on the ball. Tried to take it with him and was caught by the Burnley man, who's going to go into the referee's book here. Not sure there was much bad intention there from Peters, but he does come into the back and he does catch his foot. And the minute you do that, especially nowadays, you're going to go straight into the book, aren't you? It's Eric Peters, his first booking of the season. I'm surprised at that stat, if I'm honest. Arsenal have a free kick midway inside Burnley's half from the right flank. Nicolas Pepe is the man standing over it. He's going to deliver it into the box, but you feel like these kind of balls are bread and butter for Sean Dyche's side. Pepe's delivery is weak. It's weak, it's poor, it's terrible, for wanting of a better term. Burnley get it clear. Here's Peters at left back. Laid off by Westwood, and then Dwight McNeil switches the play for Burnley, who continue to come forward now with Robbie Brady on the right hand side. Granit Xhaka's gone out to the left to confront him. Brady still going, delivers, cut out by the near post by Kieran Tierney, and he puts it out for a Burnley throw-in. It's becoming a painful watch, this. It's been a painful watch since the second half started, actually. It's not been good from Arsenal at all. Chambers with a defensive header. Burnley come again. Here's Dwight McNeil to the left of Arsenal's box. Still got it, McNeil. Looks to play a ball inside, but Lacazette did well to block the pass, only for Nicolas Pepe to give it straight back away. Here's Xhaka with another misplaced pass. Referees pulled the game back for something, though. Offside against a Burnley player. I think it was Chris Wood, who had come from an offside position. Yep. He did. Right decision. Here's Leno. Ball out towards the right. Pepe loses out to Peters in the air. Partly because he didn't even try and win it. It's almost just waiting for the ball to come down, and it's not going to happen. Burnley don't let that happen. As Brady chips one into the box for the hosts. David Luiz gets ahead on it, and then Pablo Marie helps it on. Now it's with Xhaka. Finds Saka to the left. Here's Kieran Tierney at left back. Goes back inside to Pablo Marie. Akshay says, Harry, you felt we were bossing the midfield. Right now it's the opposite. Yeah, we were bossing the midfield in the first half an hour. But as I say, I think it's been sloppy from Partey. I think Granit Xhaka's completely disappeared into the ground after that mistake that he made. I think his confidence is completely shot. And as a result of that, Burnley have been able to grab a foothold in the game. You've also got to look at the tactical side of the game as well. And if you notice, the likes of Dwight McNeil in particular, he's supposed to be playing on the left for Burnley, has been stepping into that midfield and creating an extra overload there, giving him an extra body. Here's Pepe inside the box for Arsenal. Tries to get a shot off. Oh, he wants a handball against Eric Peters. Nicolas Pepe is appealing. It looked like it struck the arm of Eric Peters. Not sure if that'll be looked at by the VAR, but play continues. Here's Aubameyang inside Burnley's penalty area on the left. Looks for Tierney on the overlap. It's back to Aubameyang. He puts the ball in towards the far post area. It's a terrible delivery, though, from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and it's gathered by... How is that? Oh my God. How is that not a handball against Eric Peters? I'm not bothered about the first one. It's this one. Pepe's through. Pepe would be through on goal if Eric Peters doesn't get his arm on that. That is an unbelievable decision. Unbelievable. Nicolas Pepe is about to go past Eric Peters there, inside the box. This first one, you know, I'm a bit unsure about, but the second one that Nicolas Pepe appealed for is a stonewall penalty that Arsenal have been denied. And you need that bit of luck when things aren't going your way. You really, really do. Unbelievable that that's not been given. I can't believe that. I honestly can't believe that. I can't believe there's people in the chat that don't think that that was a penalty. I mean, what are you watching? Arsenal have got a free kick just inside Burnley's half. It's a really central position though. These are often difficult to get the right angle on. In it comes from Xhaka, met by a Burnley head. Partey driving into the box, took it past a couple of Burnley players but was stopped in his tracks. And as Lewis points out, you know, what's the point in VAR? What's the point in having VAR if you're not going to give a decision like that? As I said, the first one, he's tried to put a ball into the box, Nicolas Pepe. It's taken a deflection. Maybe it struck an arm from really close range. I haven't got a problem with that one necessarily. But the second one where Nicolas Pepe's gone to take the ball beyond Peters. Literally, he's through. If Peters' arm is an extended arm, by the way, Peters' extended arm prevents him from progressing. That's a ridiculous decision. Ridiculous. Unbelievable call from the referee. And you know what? I don't even blame the referee as much. I blame the guys in the VAR. I mean, what are they doing? Look, you see it again here. Unbelievable. That's a stonewaller penalty as you'll ever see. It's as clear as day. Eric Peters, his arm is out. He's on a yellow card as well. Blocks Nicolas Pepe from progressing. That's a shocking, shocking decision. Shocking decision. If Peter Walton thinks it's a penalty, then it fucking must be. Because he never goes against the referees. Stoke with an effort from long range. It was Peters who hit that on the volley, tried to catch Bernd Leno on his heels, and he almost lobbed Leno there. Chambers' header was then helped on by David Luiz. Laka won the third ball, and then Eric Peters strikes one, and that would have been a wonder strike if he had caught Bernd Leno out. But fortunately for us, the German was on his toes, was able to just turn it over the crossbar. Stoke going close off the resulting corner. <sighs> 78 minutes on the clock. Both sides looking for a winner here. Aubameyang put Arsenal in front, and Granit Xhaka's... Oh, Burnley are in here with Chris Wood. Wonderful save from Bernd Leno. Brilliant stop from Bernd Leno. Burnley were completely in there. They created space on the left, and it was a low delivery infield to find Chris Wood, who first time struck the ball against the onrushing Bernd Leno. He's made a really good save there. the Arsenal goalkeeper. Xhaka with a ball in behind for Aubameyang now. To the left of Burnley's penalty area. Arsenal readying another change. Dani Ceballos is stripped and ready. Here's Xhaka into Aubameyang. Tierney delivers into the box, met by the head of Ben Mee. And then Westwood clears it further for Burnley. Arsenal still in play here, and they've won a throw-in just inside Burnley's half. What a chance that was for Chris Wood and Burnley. Good combination play between he and Vydra. And Vydra with a really clever pass just inside Pablo Mari. As we see it again, the ball came across to Chris Wood and he's just inside the penalty area. He's almost actually in line with the penalty spot. And he should do better there for Burnley, Chris Wood, but for a really good stop from Bernd Leno. Arsenal will be behind here. Partey's gone off. Ceballos has come on. Obviously having to manage Thomas Partey's fitness, but barring that first half an hour, I don't think he's been very good, if I'm honest. And I think that's partly why he and Granit Xhaka's performances both taking a real turn for the worse after the first half an hour, is largely why Burnley have been able to grab a foothold in this game again, because they were being dominated in the early stages. Here's Saka, plays it left, Tierney, low ball into the box, it'll come to Pepe! Oh, what a chance! Nicolas Pepe spurns a golden opportunity from no more than 6 yards out. Arsenal should be back in front here. Really, really good work from Bukayo Saka through the middle. Found Kieran Tierney. It was a lovely ball in just behind the stride of the Burnley centre-halves. But Nicolas Pepe checked his run. Tried to just guide it in with that stronger left foot of his. And he's completely miskicked it. He's no more than 6-7 at max yards out, Nicolas Pepe. And Arsenal have spurned another glorious opportunity from which they should have taken the lead here. Here come the Gunners again. Here's Dani Ceballos. Plays it right to Callum Chambers. Now it's with Pepe. Infield to David Luiz. He plays a ball over the top, looking for the run of Pepe, but Burnley cut it out. And Burnley look to progress. Xhaka making a really good challenge in the heart of midfield for Arsenal. Here's Saka again. Infield for Xhaka. Now it's with Ceballos. Here's Callum Chambers. Now it's Pepe on the right wing for Arsenal. Infield to Lacazette. Goes back to Pepe. Here's Chambers. Nice bit of play from Chambers. Pepe still has it on the right flank though for Arsenal. He goes infield to Xhaka. Not much in terms of movement ahead of him. Here's Saka. Finds Kieran Tierney on the left. Back infield slightly to Saka. He's on the corner of Burnley's penalty area here. Into the feet of Laka. Lovely link-up play between the two. He puts it in. And there is Pepe at the far post. And it's come off of the crossbar. Arsenal have had another great chance. The ball's come off of a Stoke player. The referee, I think, has given Arsenal a penalty here. He's shown Eric Peters a red card for blocking the ball with his arm. Nicolas Pepe's strike towards goal has come off the shoulder, I think, of Eric Peters. We'll have another look at it just here. Well, he's got his arm extended there, Eric Peters, and this would be justice, wouldn't it, for what happened earlier on, where he clearly handballed the ball inside the box. Oh, it's come off the top of his shoulder. I think he's going to get away with that, Peters. I think he's going to get away with it. I really do. I think the VAR are going to overturn that decision from Andre Mariner. I honestly think it's come off the top of his shoulder, and I think he's going to get away with that. According to Edward, I've called Burnley Stoke. Yeah, Eric Peters is ex-Stoke. That's where it's come from. Maybe I did say it in the heat of the moment. I haven't got a clue. But I think he's going to get away with that, Eric Peters. Few of you pointing out that I keep calling him Stoke. It's Eric Peters. Can't stand the bastard. Yep, he's changed it. He's rescinded the red. And it's a play on. As I told you. The minute I saw this, the minute I saw the replay, I knew it had come off the top of Peters' shoulder. And that isn't classed as a handball. But that doesn't excuse what happened earlier on and the fact that we've got away. That he's got away with giving away a penalty earlier on in the game. Extremely frustrating afternoon this for Arsenal. You have to laugh, otherwise you'll cry. Can Arsenal fashion one more opportunity? That's two that Nicolas Pepe's had since coming on. You can knock the manager all you like, but the goal we've conceded is off the back of a moment of madness from an individual. An individual who's actually been playing quite well of late. And we've certainly had the chances and should have had a penalty as well as all of that to have gone on and won this. Not sure what the game's been pulled back for here. Offside against Aubameyang? Don't even think he was. Nick Pope with a long ball forward for Burnley. In all of that, Jay Rodriguez has come on for Burnley. Missed that. Replaced Vidra. Look at that Route 1 stuff from Burnley. And that's what they live off, you know, and they hope for scraps in and around the penalty area. And they're usually pretty good at taking those scraps. Here's David Luiz, looks for a clearance. It's blocked by Jay Rodriguez. Arsenal have a throw-in at right back, which Callum Chambers will take. 87 minutes on the clock here. Here's Dani Ceballos. Back to Pablo Mari. Finds David Luiz. Here's Mari once more. Arsenal have the ball deep in their own half, but it's not where they'll want it at this stage in the game. Ball from Tierney down the line for Aubameyang. Across comes Tarkowski and concedes a throw-in. Does feel like this is going to fizzle out into a frustrating draw. Nobody can say we didn't have the chances to win it. And apart from that Chris Wood save that Bernd Leno had to make, hasn't had to do much else, has he? And that's the frustrating thing about this. Here's Lacazette. Bad ball. And then he gives away a handball, and Burnley take the free kick quickly, but Andre Mariner's going to pull it back because the ball was rolling, but Burnley smashing it away. They know exactly what they're doing. I'm going to run down the clock here. They'll take a point against Arsenal. They'd have taken 4 points from Arsenal in total this season, which would be a pretty good return. As Alex says, and I think Matt said it earlier on as well, this game literally sums up Arsenal's season so far. Missed chances, individual mistakes, and bad refereeing calls. There's no better way to put it, is there? As Tierney looks to clear the ball, but he's cleared it against the back of Ceballos' head, and it'll fall for Jay Rodriguez, but Arsenal were back in their numbers there and managed to just prevent the Burnley forward getting a shot off after some initial chest control. Symeou plays the ball infield for Xhaka. Goes back to Pablo Mari, looks to switch it out to the right-hand side where Arsenal have plenty of space. Here's Callum Chambers. He's got Pepe ahead of him. Here's Symeou. Into Xhaka. Plays it square to David Luiz, who's squeezed right forward. David Luiz will try his luck from distance. It will fall to Pepe after his shot was blocked. Pepe is adjudged to have committed a foul against his opponent. Dominic says, Harry, what do you think of people blaming Arteta for this? I think they're absolutely flipping stark raving mad. They're going to blame Mikel Arteta for this. We've created the chances. Should have had a penalty. But for a moment of complete and utter stupidness from Granit Xhaka, who all of us, by the way, would have selected in our starting lineup, most of us anyway, we'd have won this game. So I don't know how Mikel Arteta can be held accountable for this. I really don't. Callum Chambers wins a header. Jay Rodriguez commits a foul. Arsenal take the free kick quickly. Here's Dani Ceballos. 4 minutes added on here. We've had nearly one of those minutes already. Everybody in a Burnley shirt is back behind the ball at the moment. Here's David Luiz into Xhaka. Looks up, plays a ball out towards the right flank. Callum Chambers tries to take it under control. He's ended up losing the ball, Callum Chambers. As Graham says in the chat, the only consolation is that it's not next weekend. Yeah, I mean, I'd take a draw today for a win next weekend, wouldn't you? Just look at it that way. Try and be a little bit positive. It's Burnley 1, Arsenal 1 here. Got about 2.5 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Don't forget, if you haven't already, smash the like button if you're enjoying the content and you want more. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the podcast as well. If you prefer to listen to your Arsenal content in podcast format, you can also do that. It's all the same shows. And if you fancy supporting me to bring you more and you fancy becoming a member, you can do so by clicking the link in the description. Those of you in the chat box with the little logo next to your name, there are existing members. And thank you all for your continuous support. Lovely ball into the box, headed clear, and then Jay Rodriguez helps it on. Can Arsenal muster one last opportunity in this last minute and a half or so? Yes, Symeou around about the halfway line. Plays it left to Pablo Mari. Into Saka. Now it's with Symeou. Finds Luiz. Chips it into the box. Lacazette with a header. Ben Mee. It'll fall to Aubameyang, whose shot was blocked. Pepe will take it down on his chest. Here's Tierney. He's won a throw in for his team on the left hand side. The ball almost falling to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in a really good position there. After Lacazette's header. Again, another ricochet, but Ben Mee was in the way. Aubameyang couldn't have been more than 7 yards out there. Here's Saka. Here's Pepe on the byline. Low ball. Can Laka keep this alive? It's come off a couple of Burnley bodies. It'll fall to Dani Ceballos. He's hit the post. And now it's come to Granit Xhaka. Now it's Aubameyang inside the 6-yard box. He tries to play it across. And a Burnley body gets in front of it. Pablo Mari will strike it from distance. It's blocked by Jay Rodriguez. And Arsenal have a throw-in. But the Gunners have gone so close again to scoring a second time here at Turf Moor. Here's Pepe. Burnley get it clear once more. Dani Ceballos' effort come crashing off of the far post. How's your luck? Can Arsenal get the ball in the box one last time? In it comes from David Luiz. Pepe was there waiting at the far post, but Lowton got a vital touch on it. Arsenal are going to have a corner. I just wonder if they're going to have time to take it. They're not. The full-time whistle has gone here at Turf Moor. It's finished. Burnley won, Arsenal won. Really, really disappointing that we didn't get all 3 points in the end. Granit Xhaka's mistake is the reason that we were pegged back. But Arsenal certainly had their chances both before and after that to make sure that they left today with all 3 points. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doesn't look happy. He's gone straight down the tunnel. He's not pleased. But Arsenal huffed and they puffed, but they couldn't blow that Burnley house down at the end of the match. Eric Peters came on and was at the centre of lots of controversy. In my opinion, and in the opinion of most, he should have had a penalty awarded against him. There was more trouble around him when Andre Mariner showed him a red card for saving the ball with his hand. The VAR had a look at it and rightly so adjudged him not to have done so. But you got to ask the question, why didn't they review the earlier handball? That's the big frustration here. As Luke says, Granit Xhaka's going to be on the back of some vile abuse now for sure. Because it's just the way some of those sick people that make themselves out to be Arsenal fans operate. Criticise the performance, criticise the mistake, absolutely. But there's no place for personal abuse, no matter what happened on the field today. As a result, Arsenal stay in 10th position. And if Spurs win their game this weekend, they can open up basically a 7-point lead on us, which is not ideal. Burnley, with that point, they move another point away from the drop zone. So they're 7 points clear of Fulham now, although Fulham have a game in hand. But it'll be a decent result for Burnley, a really frustrating one for the Arsenal. But it is what it is. We'll come back and hopefully we can get the result that we need in Europe at least. Because that has got to be the priority now for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. The UEFA Champions League. I'm going to leave it there. I've got to get ready and dash off to work, which is not ideal when Arsenal haven't won. It's always difficult to get yourself up for another game of football. But if you are interested, I'll be live on VSIN from 5:20 p.m. bringing you live coverage of the Midlands derby between Aston Villa and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for joining me for the watch along. Thank you to everyone who's hit the like button, all our members, all our subscribers, everybody. Love to you all. And we'll be back very, very soon with more Arsenal content. I'll be back tomorrow, as I said, with the review show. And a fans phone in tomorrow night, 9 p.m. So if you're interested in having your say on anything Arsenal, make sure you get involved in that. I'll be back soon. Until then, take care.